What is up? DTUB here. So basically, we're just going to be going through the patch notes. I read it beforehand to try to speed this up. If there's something specific here that you want to just go like in the description and just click on that if you want like a specific part of the patch notes. And let's get into this. So first they have like the starting thing. They say there's like book changes, warlords, Bond of Stone, all those stuff got changed, and we're gonna see that. But first off, there's Aatrox. So Aatrox, basically they're slightly nerfing his glass cannon full AD, mess up the enemy, but as a champion, they're buffing him. So first off, his passive is gonna be working differently now. Instead of getting attack speed as you go, it's gonna like fill up the Bloodwell, and then once it's filled up, you're gonna get attack speed and bonus base damage. So I'm guessing Trinity Force and Sterix is gonna be really good with him with this change, but we'll see how that goes. Also, the revive cooldown on his passive has been drastically reduced in cooldown, so that's gonna be really nice. It was, in my opinion, too long, so that's a good thing. His Q now no longer cost health. All of his abilities except his E no longer cost health, but it still fills up the Bloodwell, so that's going to be really nice. Now it scales with total attack damage instead of bonus attack damage, and the base damage got greatly reduced. In my opinion, I think this is a buff for the way I want to play him, because I don't think Glass Cannon really works out for him. If I want to do that, I'll play like Master Yi. But yeah. His W, now his healing will probably be better, but his damage has, again, they're kind of nerfing the all-in, do a ton of damage Aatrox, but as a champion, he's going to be better. He can build more tanky or whatever, and it's going to work out for him better. So the damage got lowered a bit, but now it doesn't cost health anymore, so I don't know. I don't know how to take this one. I would have to see it. His E, like his main lane poking thing, they haven't really... They made it do physical damage, which in my opinion is a nerf, because the fact it was doing magic damage, and the enemy was probably building armor, it kind of was strong, so I think that part's a nerf. But if they're not building armor, this is definitely a buff. And then the slow, it got changed around a bit, but I don't think it's better or worse. It just works differently now. So yeah, so that's Aatrox. Next is Fizz. Fizz, oof, ooh, I know he deletes me, but when I want my Fizzes to do damage. So his Q, 20% of his AP more damage on his Q. So that's nice. Now the bleed on his W, it goes faster. It does the same amount of damage over the time, but it goes faster. So let's say over 6 seconds, you're going to do more damage than you would have before. Also the mark duration. So like when I played him, the mark disappeared when I was ready to kill them. So that was really annoying, but now the mark appears to stay longer. I think that's what that means. Feel free to correct me. Now his ult will have a harder time latching on to people, so... And it won't, yeah. That... Land your ults. Kindred, they gave a really nice buff on her passive, because she's been kind of iffy. So now throughout the entire game, you're going to have an easier time stacking. At least that's how I see it, because there's a lot of words here, but how I see it is you're going to have an easier time stacking. With LeBlanc, they really nerfed the way the majority of people probably play her, but the way they want her to be played, this is still a nerf, but they want her to be LeBlanc. They want her to deceive people, which she does do. Her ult really messes with people's heads. But they didn't like how she was bursting people, so her W, like her main thing in my mind was her damage. Originally, her E's been doing a lot of damage. I don't know. LeBlanc's weird. But they really nerfed her W, so if you wanted her, she's going to be a lot harder. Unless you're one of those people that they're thinking of that should be playing LeBlanc, you should not be playing LeBlanc, because that's a really big nerf. Lucian, I love it. It's not a damage, it's not a like cooldown or anything, but for smoothness, I love low cast times. Like when I want to auto attack as soon as possible. So lowering the cast times on his Q and his W is so nice. So I can E auto, Q auto, W auto, or whatever a little faster, which will get me more damage out. And this is a nice buff. And I've been playing Lucian a little more now, so I like this. It's a little longer early, but that doesn't matter. For the most part, I like this. Misfortune, I think what they're trying to do is nerf bad players at bad and lethality players. But the good players and the crit players, I think this is more of, it's sort of, I think it's more of a buff. Because now her Q bounce does a lot less damage, but now it can crit, and typically you would use it on killing a minion. So yeah, I think that in the way I play, I think this is more of a buff in most cases. But for other people, I think it might be a nerf. I don't know. But it can critically strike now, and that's scary. Rengar, if you guys remember Rek'Sai, how I hated it. I mean, they just kept ruining his. They got rid of a lot of his armor, so, and also his monster conversion, which I didn't really think, I never used it, but they nerfed that too. So Rengar, they don't like Rengar. No, they don't. Rise is a strong champion, so I understand they keep on nerfing him. Now his W root has been lowered, the base. So now you're, like they say here, your Q, W, Q, no, wait. Oh, I didn't do it like that, but basically it's going to be rooted shorter unless you do the empowered root, which is still 2 seconds. That's a nice, your enemy's going to have more time to react, so that's scary. If you were doing it the way I do, which was Q, W, E, Q, to get damage, get out fast, but now it's a little, yeah. The spell flux, they increased the cooldown throughout the levels. That's another big nerf. I don't know. I think Rise players are going to have a more hard time with that. Varus, another nerf. He's been too strong in many games, not in my game. Actually, no. Because I got auto-filled to ADC, and I actually did good with Varus. So yeah, Varus is too strong, so now his Q has a 4-second longer cooldown and does a little less damage on the max charge. But you can get that 4 seconds back by exploding your W. So you can't like just... The original way you used it, sort of, I don't know. It's Varus. I don't know too much about Varus. And Zyra, she has a new death animation. And then their BM being like, don't do it in ranked, which is, shut up. Blade of the Rune King, I'm reading this as a huge buff. First, 100 less gold. It cost 100 less gold. You get 15 more AD, and you lose 15% attack speed with that AD. 15 AD cost more than 15% attack speed. And typically, if you're building Blade of the Rune King, you have other attack speed items, so you don't need the attack speed as much. So that is definitely a buff. Also, you get 5% more lifesteal, which I'll remind you, the passive percent health damage, that's also goes with this lifesteal. So big buff there. The thing that's the change, which is why I think they might have lowered the gold cost, because they don't think it's that good, but I think it's good. 100 magic damage instead of the 10% of the max health. and it's not like a steal anymore or anything. But it doesn't say anything about the movement speed part being gone. So I think you still get the movement speed. It doesn't say anything about that, but now it just does 100 magic damage. So that's not what was on the PBA. Okay, that's not very good. But then again, that raw stats are much stronger, and it's still a slow. So very nice. Edge of Night, I don't like these nerfs. But now the shield duration is half as much as it was before, so you're going to have to use it more when you're getting ready to do battle, or more when you know the enemy's about to kill you. Because remember, you have to still charge it. You have to charge it without doing anything, which is already a pain in the ass, but now it only lasts 5 seconds, which is... And then they remind us the mid-patch update, which they raised the cooldown, which I actually thought it was... I don't know. And they lowered the damage. Here's another big thing. Bond of Stone, gone. So Stone Pact, Stoneborn Pact is a really nice thing. Now instead of doing 4% damage reduction, you're going to have 5% maximum health, which basically does the same thing. And you're going to probably take it on somebody with health scaling, like Sion, Tarek, Sejuani, something like that. And now, when you use CC on an enemy, well, like movement and pairing CC, like a slow, a snare, a stun, that your teammate hitting that target will heal, which is... Ooh, I like it. Deathfire, I hate this. They greatly nerfed it. What you're gonna do? Huge nerf, 50%. I don't like this nerf, but they did it. Warlord's Bloodlust, another big change. No longer that garbage 15% when you're about to die. I hate my ADCs taking it because it does nothing. It's not damage. But now, it's still not damage, but it gives movement speed, and it works better the way people probably use it to sustain. Yes, higher level players would have used it for combat to sustain the fight, but people have been using it to sustain lane, even fun. It doesn't do that. But now it does that better. How I'm reading it. And also in fights, I don't know how that's going to work out. Because if you're full health, 50% lifesteal, what is that? But I'm hyped to see how this is going to work out. Huge change, Exhaust. No longer reduces attack speed. No longer reduces resistances. I kind of saw this coming, since a lot of people took it. Like in my rank games, my diamond rank games, there's always like 5 exhaust in the game. Like 5, what? Why are there so many exhaust? So this makes me want to take Ignite, but the thing is, the 40% damage reduction and the slow is still really important for peeling your ADC. So if you were having trouble deciding between Exhaust and Ignite, now you're more likely to take Ignite. But if you had a reason to take Exhaust, you're probably still taking Exhaust. So, but this is still a big nerf to that. Recall animations, they've been doing a thing where now a lot more champions have recall animations, which basically use their AFK animations. So that's really nice, because it's kind of boring. You got people like Aurelion Sol with this awesome recall animation, and then you got people like some other champion that does nothing. Literally nothing. So that's really nice. Some people are a tiny bit smaller, whatever. The tooltip now has, it looks a little different, has some other stuff. It tells the person it's an ultimate, but everyone knows your R ability is the ultimate, so... Okay, Riot. Jax apparently visually attacks stuff. He looks different. Cho'Gath, his W, visually looks a little different. Nocturne, he sees stuff differently. It looks better. I don't know. It looks... VXF... No, whatever. Rotating game mode, Ascension. I actually kind of want to play some Ascension, so that's going to be nice. League client updates, whatever. League client updates. As you can see here, look at this League client update. Yep. League client updates. It does look nice, so they're doing stuff with that. Q health. This kind of scared me. I don't know what it means. The way I use ranked. Actually, no. I'm gonna make an entire. I'm not even gonna say that here. But ranked flex. There's an exclamation point. That's scary. A bunch of bug fixes. Bug fixes. If you had a bug you cared about, go find it here. I don't really. Yeah. Got some nice skins. Dragon Sorceress Zyra. Ooh. Beautiful. I don't want to see Zyra's, but ooh. And then Shinchao, Dragon Slayer Shinchao. Ooh. I love it. It's so nice. And then you also got some chromas. Dragon Slayer Pantheon. It looks chroma. It's nice. And then Dragon Slayer Shinchao. That they look nice. I don't have any chromas. Buy me a chroma. So that's it for the patch notes. Let me know what you thought in the comments. I thought there was some big stuff. And good luck on the battlefield, summoners.